All right, Rob, let's get to one of the big games. Not a big game in terms of actual ability and great play, but kind of interesting. And that is the New England Patriots against the Las Vegas Raiders, Rob. Battle of the coaching buddies. Josh McDaniel, of course, offensive coordinator on many of those New England Patriots Super Bowl champion teams. Of course, Jimmy G was on some of those teams as the backup to Tom Brady, and they are facing Bill Belichick. So a lot of interest there. Both teams struggling. New England even more so. But a lot of storylines there. And what I just said isn't even the half of it. Rob G, explain.
Yeah, well, so they're already anxious in New England because they're playing the Raiders, as you mentioned, all the ties. But not just that, the Raiders aren't very good. They haven't scored more than 18 points in any game this season. So there's people, even as bad as New England has looked this season, there's people in that region who cover the team who say, if we can't beat that Raiders team, then we are, might as well get ready for the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. And so because of that, it spawned several think pieces to come out of Patriot Way, and including by Jeff Howe, the Athletic, who's covered the team for a long time. And he wrote in his latest column about the team that Robert Kraft is not opposed to dismissing Bill Belichick if things do not improve soon in New England. Here's the quote. There's a school of thought that suggests Bill Belichick has earned the right to go out on his own accord, that the architect of the greatest dynasty in NFL history can coach in New England as long as he chooses. Well, Kraft doesn't subscribe to that line of thinking.
What do you think, Rob?
I just don't see any scenario where the Patriots fire Bill Belichick. There'll be a parting, Chris, at some point. But I'm talking about like get out, you're fired after they lose to the Raiders, and Bill Belichick has been canned or fired. I just don't see that. I don't.
And he wrote
good for them. I'm sorry. It wouldn't, right? I mean, and now, Rob, what I could see is in the offseason, Robert Kraft sitting down with Bill Belichick and saying, look, we want to bring in some more front office help for you. And actually, we want you to just coach. You're a great coach, obviously, and we want you to focus on that. And then if Belichick pushes back, doesn't want to accept it, then maybe you're like, well, we want you to coach only, Bill. And then we have to figure something out. Maybe there's a mutual parting of the ways that is called a resignation.
Right. No, I could see that. Nobody. Yeah, I'm not saying he's not the Pope or a Supreme Court justice, but like out and out firing him after they lose a game, I don't see that.
No, Rob, I think that makes the Patriots look bad if they do that. I think it does. Because this guy, he is a legend and he is your legend. And so I just don't think it makes them look better. And look, I get it. The Patriots will never, and their fans even, will never accept this. And I understand that. I wouldn't accept it either. But the truth is, it's going to be some tough sledding for a while. They're not going to, what you had was magical, and that doesn't last forever. Rob, we've talked about some of the great dynasties. Eventually, when it ended, they had some rough times. Now, doesn't have to be incredibly long. San Antonio's been down for 4 or 5 years.
Ain't nobody running pop out of San Antonio.
Right. They aren't.
And they haven't been good.
Right. And even if they didn't get Wembanyama, Rob, in the draft,
he ain't going nowhere.
This year, he's still not going anywhere.
Right.
Absolutely. And why would Belichick?
And here's the other thing. Before this season, and we're all admitting this season's bad, but Chris, it doesn't feel this way, but Belichick was over 500 in the post-Tom Brady era coming into this year. They were 25-23. So it has, this season is horrendous, but the entire run hasn't been.
We're 10-7 a couple years. Mac Jones rookie year.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So that it feels worse than it really is. So I think that like he's got to get run out of here. Oh my God, this year, obviously, what are they, 1-4? Is that what it is? So 1-4, now they're under 500, but they're what, 2 games under? 1 game under 500 since Tom Brady left? So it ain't the same. It's just, it feels worse than it is.
I mean, it's bad. I don't
No,
know
but
if
I'm
I'd
saying
say
it feels worse
than
because
it
of the last couple of games and how bad it's been.
is. I mean, last year wasn't good. They win 7 games. But it just is what it is. They're not going to win much. But there was what was the issue? We talked about it earlier. The point we wanted to get to in this was if I think it was, didn't the story say that Robert Kraft isn't against firing, or he's not like, I'm keeping Belichick here until he breaks the all-time wins record, no matter how long it takes. Wasn't it something to that effect?
Yes, that is something that was also included in the column. I don't have the exact quote in front of me, but yes, that was one thing that was suggested.
That's interesting, Rob, because at this rate, who knows when Belichick will be? Was he 18 games away? 18 wins.
So that'll be 5
from
seasons.
break. I'm sorry.
I'm
I don't
kidding,
want
I'm
him
kidding.
around. No, I mean,
It's not going to be 5 seasons, Chris. He
it
will
won't
not be.
okay, let's say this year they win 5. Okay, next year they win 6.
And then 7.
That's 11,
got
and
it.
then maybe.
It's 3
At
years.
most,
It's
it'll
3
be
years.
4 years. Like, including this year, it'll be 4 years. That's a long time to keep Belichick.
I think it's 3 years. 6, Chris. 6. If he gets 6, 7 wins, 7 and 11,
They
7
got to
and
deal
and,
with Josh
and 10.
Allen and Tua every year now, twice a year. And the rest of the AFC is no joke. Like, they're not good. And I don't know, but I think at the most it would be 4 years. So this one and 3 plus 3 more. That's a long time to have Belichick around. But I generally, I'm just with you. You cannot fire Bill Belichick. It just, you don't do it. I'm sorry. It's just not, it wouldn't look good for the franchise. And I just think they're going to have to try to do it. You could try to bring in some other people, try to wrestle away some of the power. And then if Bill can't accept that, then he could move on. But
Well, that's different. If he becomes where he's stubborn and he's not open to changes and things that you need to get done, then there's a pardon of the ways. You know what I mean? You could
Right.
do that. But I'm talking about, like, to me, the only way it would be like a firing is they lose to the Raiders 44-0, and they fire him after the game. Like that.
you think that could happen?
No, I don't. I would say I would be shocked.
I don't even think it should happen after that.
No, I know. That's what I would be shocked.
I mean, heck,
that's
they
what I'm
just gotta be
saying.
35,
Right.
34.
That's what I'm saying. I
What's the
would be
difference?
shocked if they lost to the Raiders and they were like, okay, this is it. We can't go on with it. No, because I don't think that team's good. I don't think Mac Jones is good. There's some other issues on there.
The only way I could see them firing him, and I don't think we know there's been tension in the building and Bill has rubbed some people the wrong way without question. But Rob, to me, the only way they fire him is if he has just been a total jerk for his basically entire tenure there. And he has just rubbed people the wrong way, gotten on everybody's nerves. Everybody hates him, and they've had to put up with him because he wins. That's the only way. And everybody from the owner on down to the security guard in the front of the building knows this dude, man, I cannot wait till he's gone. That's the only way I see them firing him. And I don't think it's that bad. I think obviously there's tension and stuff, but I don't think it's nearly that bad. So I don't see it happening. Rob G, where you at on this?
I'll tell you what, if the Patriots and their fans and their franchise are thinking of moving on from Bill Belichick because they've been a 500 team the last 3 years, then they don't deserve him anyways. because you don't know what it's like. Rob knows this as a Lion, covered the Lions for a long time. I'm a Raider fan. Chris, I don't personally know who you root for because you have like 9 different cities that you claim.
Exactly.
But
Winners.
winner, right?
Yeah, that's why he's a flip-flopper,
That's
right. Yeah.
But you know how many NFL franchises would kill to be 500 over 3 seasons?
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? You just said that, and I'm going to say this. Chris said last year, they had won 7 games. They were awful or whatever. Or, you know,
I didn't say they were awful. I said they won 7 games.
yeah.
I said they're
and
bad
then
now.
and then there's other teams that they win like just 1 game under 500 or 9-8. They're celebrating. You know what I mean? As if they'd done something like teams.
Well, it
And-
depends on where you're at.
Right. I'm just
I
saying,
mean,
but
that's the thing. They've been
but you can't live in the
champions,
past.
and
You
that's
also
why-
have to look at where
No,
they
but I'm
are.
saying, if Carolina turns around and goes 9-8 this year, they should be feeling good. You know, if the Bears go 9-8, they should be feeling good. I'm not gonna rip those teams. For
I'm
that.
not saying that,
It's
but
all where you're at.
but I'm just saying that in the case of the Patriots,
Well,
Rob
yeah,
G.
they're not-
Rob
they're
G.
gonna be
brings the
different.
point is that it's not like they're 10 games under 500
Right.
coming into the
and
season.
you
That's all.
gotta factor in that they had 20 years of dominance.
That's
and,
my point.
And you're gonna
They're not going to be very good for a while.
But I mean, yeah, you're right. And I just think anyone in New England who's going to throw away 20 years of goodwill over basically this is only half a season so far
Right.
of them being bad. Before
Well,
that, they
remember
were
even
an
last
average
year-
team before that, the
Last
previous
year
3
there
years.
was talk. Now look, there might be media members up there that just don't like Belichick,
Well-
right? He's probably been rude to him for years.
And Chris,
right?
you know what? They smell blood in the water,
Yep.
and this is their
Yep.
chance.
Yep.
I know that there are people like that in the situation, because that's how it is. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
all right, he's not Teflon anymore. Hey, look, he's
Right.
bad. Look, he's been treating me like crap for
For 20 years,
20
right? You
years.
couldn't
Right.
do
Here's my
anything about
chance.
it.
Right. You couldn't say anything.
Yeah. Nah, and because remember even last year, and obviously last year it was very premature, but there was stories last year. There was scuttlebutt last year about could Belichick be fired, which was ridiculous, but that is probably what it is, Rob. Some media members wanting to fan the flames now that he's down. But yeah, it just let it play out.
Fun
Let it
fact,
play.
guys, Bill Belichick has had a double-digit win season more recently than Mike Tomlin, and I don't hear anyone calling for Mike
That's
Tomlin's job.
that's a great stat. When's the last time? That's crazy. When's the last time Mike Tomlin had double digit?
This was a
2020.
few years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. Remember when they won all those?
Yeah, you
games?
call them, what is it, the most
Right.
fugazi 8-0
Worst
team,
right.
whatever.
7-0 team
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
And then
Ever.
they were 9-0, the worst 9-0. Then they were the worst 10-0
But
team, and then
Tomlin
they were.
hasn't
And then that
had a
playoff
losing-
game came, and I
Yeah,
was right.
that's right.
I was
Right.
right.
Tomlin hasn't had a losing season though, either.
Yeah, I mean, he's also
But
had a lot of
obviously doesn't
stability
have
at
the
quarterback.
success
Yeah.
Of and Belichick has.
No, I mean, he's had Mac Jones for 3 years, and the first year they won 10 games, and then only this season has been bad.
No,
Before that,
I
they've
agree.
been an average NFL team.
Right. And
Last
you know what?
year was
Usually when you drop off from a quarterback, Hall of Fame quarterback like that, that's where you're headed. You know what I mean?
Right,
even with
right.
what's called. You look at
I
Green
agree.
Bay. I don't know what kind of season are they going to have now.
and they need to.
I'm
accept,
not convinced.
They won't
right.
accept it, but
It's hard.
the
And for
reality.
Green Bay, they had 2 quarterbacks. How long of a run was that? 27 years,
30
Chris?
years,
30,
about
30
30
years,
years.
27 years? That's unheard of.